Welcome to the Magic Music Toolbox, how to play the piano by ear in 7 steps. All right, now let's say you're listening to some music and you wanted to learn how to play a song. Now, the first thing you need to realize is all songs are being played with the major scale for the most part, or the relative minor scale, which is pretty much the major scale starting on the 6th tone of the scale. A secret about the relative minor scale is a lot of songs will use that 6th tone of the scale as the starting point, as an alternate to starting on the 1. For instance, you may hear something like, let's see. Something like that. I'm in the key of G flat major. If you don't know all of your major and relative minor scales, I do have videos on how to play both the major and the relative minor scale in all 12 keys. Go check those out. Now, it's important to know that the major scale is being used in pretty much all the music. Now, this song in G flat major, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I'm back to the 1, right? Now, like I said, a lot of songs will use that 6th tone, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, as an alternate starting point instead of starting on the 1, right? And that takes us to step number 2, which is the number system, which is learning your scales and then learning to number them, right? Now, once we've numbered them, we know there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 notes. Then we want to know that there are certain types of chords that we can play on each tone of the scale. Generally, 1 is major, 2 is minor, 3 is minor, 4 is major, 5 is major, 6 is minor, 7 is diminished, and then we're back to the octave. Now, like I said, a lot of songs can start like this one on that 6th tone, right? Also, it's important to memorize the chords and the chord types because it's finite. There's only so many chords, right? There's only so many types of major chords and minor chords and diminished chords and suspended chords. And then once you know them, you're not having to keep relearning them every time you learn a song. It's just about learning them and then transposing to the 12 keys. And then you can just recognize them once you begin to hear the characteristic sound of each chord quality, right? So once we've learned that, if you don't know the number system, I do also have a video on that you can check out that will go over that in detail. So we know that on the 6th tone of the scale, we're generally going to be playing minor types of chords. So if I'm, hearing this song and I'm hearing that they're on that 6, I know it's a good chance I'm playing some type of minor chord whenever I'm on that tone. Now that's going to take us into the third step, is musical movements. Now, how are the chords moving along the scale? See, the number system allows us to pinpoint those and plot the progression of the chord changes, right? So we can quickly learn song patterns, right? Now, music has a tendency to move primarily in stepwise motion or in 4. So for instance, this progression went stepwise from the 6 to the 7, but then after that, we started going in a circle of 4th motion. We went up a 4th interval to the 3 over that B flat, right? And then that took us back to the 6, which is a 4th away from the B flat. So you see, that whole little chord progression was just 3 different moves, doing stepwise motion into 2 4th intervals. And the 4th interval has a cyclical nature where you will circle back around to the point you started on. All right. Now, the melody, a lot of people, when they sit down to learn a song, like for instance, if they were trying to learn that song, they may go straight to just trying to play that melody, Right? A lot of people will just, like, a lot of the newbies, when I watch them, sit down to play or learn, the first thing they do is just only put their right hand on the keyboard and start playing a melody. For some reason, a lot of beginners won't even put their left hand on the keyboard for some reason. Now, I want to encourage you to go ahead and put both hands on the keyboard, and that's going to take us to step 5. The secret, now, let's stay at 4 for just a second. Now, the melody can give you some insight into what chords you could play, yes, because even if I just took those 3 notes and I played them all at the same time, that's a chord, right? That gives us some insight. We're halfway there to playing the first chord of that progression, right? It's not the whole chord, but that gives us a start. Now, the secret though to playing by ear is the bass note, because the bass note, the root note, gives us the chord name, and it tells us the progression. It tells us the point on the scale that we're on and that we're moving to. So if what I really do when I learn songs, I go straight to the bass note first. Right? I'm already making music right there. Right? It's grooving. Now, that's only, and then I know right there, oh, they're only playing 3 different moves. We're going from the 6 to the 7 to the 3. 6, 7, 3. Right? Now, I don't know any chords. I haven't learned the melody yet, but I already know that we're on the 6, we're going to the 7, and we're going to the 3. Right? And because I've already learned the major scale, the relative minor scale, I've learned how to number the scale. I memorize the chords, right? Because there's only so many chords, right? I know that if I'm on the 6th tone, I'm going to primarily be using minor types of chords, right? And I know, hey, there's only so many minor chords, right? So if I'm on the 6th, could be just a regular minor triad. If it's not that, well, maybe it's that 7. Maybe I add the 7 to it, and minor 7. Nope, not that. Well, let me add the 9. Oh, that's getting a little closer, right? And if not that, oh, the melody was here, right? So let me just add the melody in, and then boom, I found the chord, right? So even if I had to experiment with those 3 chords to kind of see which one it might be, it's easier to find it once I've already memorized the fact that if I'm on 6, it's going to be minor most of the time, 9 times out of 10, right? And then there's only so many types of minor chords that I'm going to play. It's, minor triad, minor 7, minor 9, the 11, right? So knowing that cuts down on the trial and error time greatly, right? And then we went to the 7. Now, generally on the 7, you're going to play like a diminished type of chord, but the melody was here. So was it a half diminished? No, that didn't sound right. Now you can also play some minor type of chords over that 7th tone. A lot of times when you're using that 6th tone as a starting point, you'll go to the 7th tone and play a minor type of chord, right? So that makes it easier to find that. Now, we went up to the B flat, right? I already know the bass notes, so I know we're going to B flat, right? So, all right. Now, and that's going to take us to step 6, as you see there. Now, once I get that bass note pattern going and I got the melody, I can then play the shell of the chord voicings, and I'm playing the song, right? So there's right? That's pretty much the song, right? Now, even though it's not as full, it doesn't have all the harmonies, I'm still playing the song and playing the shell of all those chords. And then that makes it a lot easier for me to begin to try to harmonize that once I know the progression and I know the melody, right? Now, I'm already aware that, hey, there's going to be certain chord types that we're using on the 6th tone, like we spoke about earlier. So that gives me some insight into how I can harmonize that, right? I can just kind of go through those 4 different types of minor chords that primarily are used on the tone and see which one it would be, right? Same thing when I get to the 3. The 3 primarily, you're using minor type of chords, right? So here we have a B flat minor 7 that gets used, right? Now, the second time around, there was a slight change. We came here, and instead of playing the minor 9, we have an 11, the minor 11, because of the melody, right? But it's pretty much the same chord. Just one note different. We're just playing the minor 11 now, right? And then when we go back to that 7, we have that same chord. Now this time, over the 3, we got an altered chord, right? Because the melody is here, right? Now, this is a chord you hear a lot in urban music when you're on the 3, right? A lot of times on the 3, you're gonna sharp the 5, and you may even sharp the 9 sometimes, right? You could play that sharp 9 and the sharp 5, or you could just sharp the 5. Both of those work, right? But that chord is a chord that you're gonna hear a lot in this style of music. So anytime I hear that sharp 9 or sharp 5 type of chord, I can instantly recognize it, right? And we know that if we're on that chord and it's not the minor 7 or a minor 11 or a minor 9, that maybe it's one of the altered chords. And because I'm familiar with the chord characteristic, the sound quality, I can instantly know that, okay, they're going to that, they're trying to create a little more tension, a little more dissonance before we get back to that 6. And the second time around, they're using that altered chord to break the monotony of using that same minor 7 chord, give it a little more tension to release back into that, okay? And then even on that last part, right, still just a minor 7 to a minor 7, minor 7 to that sharp 9, right? So these are ways, this is a 7-step system that you can use, that I personally use and I've taught other people to use with great success, that you can learn how to play songs by ear. Like I never have to go get sheet music or learn, and really because I grew up playing in church initially when I started playing, and there wasn't no sheet music for it. You had to go listen, and and then you're playing so many songs. Like I don't got time to be trying to hunt down all the sheet music and buy it if necessary and all that, when I can just turn on the music for free, listen to it, and then and play it. So, and it's a great skill to have, and it's a lot of fun to be able to hear your favorite song and then just instantly, oh, I like that, let me learn it. And then using this system, it's definite. Now I don't have perfect pitch, right? I use relative pitch. And then with those 7 steps that I just gave you, I'm able to systematically learn songs by ear using this definite method. So it's not hit or miss or just a bunch of random trial and error. All right, so I really hope that helps to accelerate your process of learning how to play by ear. Implement those steps and you'll definitely see your ear ability increase significantly. If you like the video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, share the video. Thank you for watching. Till next time, peace.